You're still watching Prime Morning, and we have barely 12 days to go cast our votes. We don't know who you're voting for, but one thing we advocate for is peace. And so when you are done casting your votes, please and please, you just go home. Stay glued to your television set, especially multimedia channels and also your radio channels. And that is multimedia, because right here, we bring you the election headquarters, where if you tune in to Joy Prime, we'll give you all the updates. Joy News will give you the updates. At Doom TV, will give you the updates. When it goes to radio, Joy 99.7 will give you the updates. Hits will give you updates. And of course, Asempa and Insura and at Dome FM will all bring you the updates. And so do not hang around to cause any chaos. Just go home and monitor from home. Very, very important, because we are advocating for peace. Let's not forget that we have just one Ghana and nothing more. My name is Roslyn Felly. This segment is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still and still, phone papa pair fee. Whatever gadgets you're looking for, whether mobile phones, television sets, CCTV cameras, we say worry no more, because we've got you covered. All you need to do is to come to any of our shops or pick the number on your screen right now, save the number and call us. Or to make things even more easy, all you can do is to download the app on your phone, which is Franco Trading app. So you go to Google Play Store and download Franco Trading app. You find all the gadgets there. Place your order and we'll deliver to you at your doorstep. For further inquiries, contact us on www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still and still, phone papa pair fee. Now, earlier, I did mention that our main topic happens to be the majority caucus in Parliament triggering a recall of Parliament. There's been a few issues in Parliament in the past. And finally, the Supreme Court gave a verdict, gave an interpretation of certain 4 persons who decided to embark on a different journey other than the ticket that brought them to Parliament. So 2 people from the NPP decided to go independent. 1 person from the independent side decided to join the NPP, and 1 person from the NDC side decided to also go independent, making the NDC at that time majority. The NPP decided to seek for an interpretation in court, and they went to the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court interpreted it as such that the persons ought to stay at post until elections are over, making the NPP now the majority in Parliament. Now, the NPP has petitioned the Speaker of Parliament as of now that they want a recall of Parliament so that certain businesses can be done. We don't know what the Speaker will say as of now, but one thing that the NPP is saying, that they wish it will be recalled either on Thursday or Friday. Will the Speaker adhere to this and do it, or the Speaker will not? Well, we will definitely get to the bottom of it. If he doesn't, what will be some of the consequences? Well, you can send in your messages to us on 055-157-5757, 055-157-5757. And also good news, a 97-kilometer Tema Impakadan Railway has been finally inaugurated. We'll also talk about that and many more. So you can send in your messages to us like you always do, and you can trust us that we'll read all your messages. I want to read the headlines of the newspapers, and then we can delve into our topics for today. So the first paper is the Custodian newspaper. The Custodian, Jospon Group was seen Gishu County to tackle waste in Kenya. Ekufuado commissions $447 million railway line DMU trains. Ensuring security ahead of 2024 polls, IGP, police chiefs worship with churches. Baumia opens Wale Wale watermelon factory, and government urged to support HIV/AIDS fund. That will be it for the Custodian newspaper. The next newspaper is the News Center. The News Center. Chamber of Mines producing members paid 11.6 billion Ghana cedis to government in 2023. So where's the money? Just a question though. Not from me, but that's the question that people will ask. IGP and police commanders worship with churches to promote peaceful elections. NDC to privatize health services such as lab tests, dental care, eye exams, medications in public hospitals. Voters should reject fear-mongering campaign messages. This coming from Coca. And Bupera Jinapor II elected as Vice President of National House of Chiefs. My next newspaper is the Daily Graphic, a newspaper. The Daily Graphic. President commissions Oil Services Center in Takrade. Ibrahim Mahama pays for 10-year-old leukemia patients treatment in South Africa. Election 2024 will take Central Region. Well, Central Region is kind of a decider, you know. And so I'm quite interested in this one. And if you look at the trend, in 1996, the NDC led with a 55.2%. The NPP had 43.32%. In 2000, the NPP had 49.67% and the NDC had 43.1%. In 2004, the NPP stretched the gap even further with a 58.57% and the NDC dropped to 39.21%. 2008, the NPP dropped a little bit with a 50.96% and the NDC got 45.03%. In 2012, quite interesting, now the NDC now overtakes the NPP with a 52.62% and the NPP got 45.16%. In 2016, very interesting, I must say, the NPP comes back to overtake the NDC with a 53.22% and the NDC got 43.43%. In 2020, again, the NPP maintains the lead with a 52.71% and the NDC got 45.87%. Interesting, isn't it? Well, we are yet to know what's going to happen in 2024. Recall Parliament for two-day urgent businesses. Majority Leader, just Speaker, and IGP leads police delegation to foster closer relationship with churches. That will be it for the Daily Graphic newspaper. The Ghanaian Times newspaper is my final newspaper. At GMA graduation, I'll ensure smooth transition of power. President Akufo-Addo has assured all Ghanaians. AOMC unveils new identity as COMAC. EC disposes of defective ballot papers. And that'll be all for the Ghanaian Times newspaper. I think I'm more interested in the president saying that he will ensure smooth transition of power. So let me read a little bit about that, because we've been advocating for peace right here on Joy Prime, especially the children of Kids Paradise have been doing same. So the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, says he will transition from office with the utmost respect for the country's democratic processes, stressing that he is committed to ensuring that the will of the citizenry prevails in December 7th elections. According to him, no ambition of any politician or a political party would ever compromise the peace and stability that the country has ever enjoyed over the years. He says, and these are his words, "I want to reassure all Ghanaians that our democracy will remain steadfast and unshaken. The right to free and fair elections is non-negotiable, and I'm committed to ensuring that will of the people prevail in every elections." That's good. Good news. Good to hear. And this is what we want to hear all the leaders say, especially the flag bearers of the political parties. I just wish they would have agreed to sign the peace pact. But even if they don't, can they actually voice out and say that we have just one Ghana? And so they are also advocating for peace and telling their foot soldiers that come what may, it's peace that we need. It's very important. It's a very vital thing that we have to do. We don't have any other Ghana, guys. We have just one Ghana. So we go cast our votes, 13 days more to go cast our votes. We don't know who you are voting for, but we just want peace. That's all we advocate for. Well, you're still watching Prime Morning. This segment is the News Flash segment, which is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still phone papa fee. Do you think the time for the recall of Parliament is a good one? Do you think the Speaker should adhere to the recall of Parliament by the majority caucus, or you think that the Speaker should still hold or stand his grounds? Now, let's not forget that the NDC has also decided to boycott Parliament if ever the Speaker calls Parliament back. Now, if they boycott Parliament, what will be the consequences? Will businesses be able to hold? If we take a look at when the NPP decided to boycott Parliament, what happened? Now, if the NDC also decides to boycott Parliament, even if the Speaker decides to recall Parliament, will they still have the numbers to hold a business, or they can't? Because let's not forget that the Speaker said when the NPP boycotted Parliament, they didn't have the numbers to make a decision. So this time round, without the NDC, will they be able to make a decision, or they'll have to go on recess again indefinitely? Well, we'll get to know about all of this during the show. Of course, you can send in your messages to us on 055-157-5757, 055-157-5757. Let's get talking. Let's hear what you think about this trigger of recall of Parliament by the majority caucus in Parliament, that's the NPP. And also, as we go cast our votes, who you're voting for. For us here, it's not about who you're voting for, it's about peace. That's the facts. For us at Multimedia, it's a matter of peace and nothing else. We don't compromise our peace. So that is it. I think I'll take a few messages now, and then we can delve into our topic. So let me see what we have. Okay, so this one says 7 December elections. Let me push the chair back. 7 December elections, we are all voting for John Mahama. Even NPP running mate is urging voters to vote for John Mahama from Ablade Fiekuma Zongo. All right, so he continues to say 7 December elections, youth of Ghana, please vote wisely. NPP is a deserving party. They have nothing to offer youth. This is Ablade. Okay. Okay, so this one coming in says, unpaid newly posted teachers from colleges of education. Good morning, beautiful Rosalind. Please read this out. There's a press release. Tuesday, November 19, 2024, the Ghana Education Service, Ministry of Finance, we the newly posted teachers from colleges of education express our utmost disappointment and frustration regarding the non-payment of our outstanding arrears, salaries, and the delay in releasing our staff IDs. Despite completing our studies and national service, we've been neglected and left uncertain about our financial well-being. The lack of payment has caused significant hardship, affecting our ability to report to our posting stations and perform our duties effectively. We urge the GES and Ministry of Finance to, number one, immediately settle our outstanding arrears, 2, release our salaries without further delay, expedite the process of issuing staff IDs. If our demands are not met by November 30th, we'll be forced to boycott the upcoming elections and refuse to report to our classrooms. Now, let me say this to you. What will boycotting the elections do for you? Will it give you your money back? Will it pay you? Are you aware that voting is your right? And so you cannot threaten any government with votes? If you are happy with the government, go and vote for the government. If you're not happy, vote against the government. Don't say that you're boycotting. If you boycott, your money is not coming. So go to the polls and vote. Vote for who you think will give you your money. If you think it's the movement for change that's going to sort you out, go out there and vote for them. If you think it's LPG, go and vote for them. So don't stay at home. CPP is in the race as well. Don't stay at home. There's a new force. There's the NDC. There are so many political parties on the ballot. There are 12 candidates on the ballot sheet. So if you're boycotting, what does it mean? I don't agree with you with the boycott. I agree with you that they should pay you your money, but go and vote. It's your right. Enjoy it, darling. All right, so that will be it. And it's signed by concerned leaders on behalf of unpaid newly posted teachers from College of Education. Okay. This one says that, good morning, the Ghana parliamentarians are just behaving like young children. Okay. This one says football fields are a flyover, a tennis court under a flyover. Then president's daughter complete with her artwork. We'll investigate one day. The wicked will know no peace. Okay, Patrick from Accra. Mensa Majid from Bechem, Toronto says each and every concerned Ghanaian should start looking for his or her ID card to cast his or her vote massively against corruption, reckless spendings, nuisance taxes, family and friends governments, state capture, expired food for SHS students. Let's vote massively for Charles Akwesi Esiedu JDM. All right, so Sami Boachi from Asaman Kese. Sami, I think I haven't read your messages in a while. Sorry about that. He says that it's evident that the NDC is not demonstrating sufficient seriousness. They will persist in their frivolous actions and subsequently claim they have been provided with tea and bread. Their hallmark appears to be focused on food and animals. In contrast, the NPP, led by Dr. Baumia, possesses superior policies tailored to meet the demands of Ghanaians. Fellow Ghanaians, the time has come to acknowledge the accomplishments of the NPP, particularly in light of the global economic crisis. The NPP remains the premier choice on the ballot. I urge you to vote overwhelmingly for the NPP to facilitate further progress. It's indeed possible. Regards to Charles H. Okay. This one says, good morning. For Parliament, we, the NDC, are not going. We are campaigning. Master Raman Sonatula Kalba. Okay. This one says, NPP opposition very soon for me. I have no problem against them, but I'm voting against them purposely because of the increase in dollar. Letitia Ayombil inside Tema. Afenyo Markin once said, we'll go to court and play legal gymnastics in court and render a case foolish. Please beware of Afenyo Markin because of the late Ekwadonko's picture is not removed from the ballot sheet and NPP loses these elections. Trust Afenyo Markin to go to court and play legal gymnastics again to seek declaration of the 2024 elections null and void because of the presence of the dead people on the ballot sheet. Beware of Afenyo Markin. Oh, this one, dear. Good morning, Madam Host. We are praying for ironic election. Allied health professionals who completed in the year 2020 must be posted. Roslyn, NDC should not attend to Parliament. Please concentrate on your constituencies. Okay. All right. So this one says that. Okay. So it says, why can't parliamentarians go to Supreme Court about the high cost of living we are suffering and the government is saying things are getting better? I'm sure in their pocket there is no sense of maturity amongst the parliamentarians when they are sharing benefits for themselves. None go to Supreme Court. Partisan politics, selfish and greed. Roslyn, good morning. Is Asiedu Nketia telling his MPs not to go to Parliament? That will be good. That means there won't be anything like ex gratia for this MPs. After all, they have not done anything good to this country, if not fighting. What else have they done? Nana Usu from Goss. So, all right, so keep your messages coming in, and of course, trust me that I'll read your messages. I am here, and I'm here for you. This segment is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still and still, phone, whatever gadgets you are looking for, whether mobile phones, television sets, CCTV cameras, we've got all of them for you. We've got you covered. You can download the app on your phone to make things very simple. That is Franco Trading app, or you visit our website for further inquiries, www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone fee. I've been joined by Yaw Sarpong, and he's representing the Movement for Change. Hi, Yaw.
Hello.
How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. I actually passed by your event that took place on Saturday. I came to that side, and I didn't know it was your event. I saw the place.
We did it for Ghana.
Yes, I saw.
It wasn't our event.
It wasn't your event?
It was for Ghanaian youth.
Okay, but it was organized by Movement for Change. Okay,
so
yes.
It was a Ghana event.
Okay, all right. How was it, though?
Beautiful. You saw it for yourself.
So when I was passing by, the setup was ongoing. So I didn't get to enjoy it. Aha.
You could always replay on Alan's page.
Okay.
It was a beautiful.
Okay.
But
the truth of the matter is this. We didn't do so much of a promotion of the youth concert, all right? We were trying to test the waters to see whether or not the Ghanaian youth are in sync with what we do, with what the policies we have. And so our concentration was more on the discussions of our policies and what we have for the Ghanaian youth, rather than the promotion of this concert. But trust you me, the place was so packed, and it was as though we had done a 1 year of promotion of the youth concert. Give us the opportunity to interact more with the Ghanaian youth and to understand better the entertainment industry and the creativity industry, and then what we have for them. And you would notice that it would have been very difficult to gather all of these upcoming artists and talented youth, and those of them who are already in the mainstream and have made names for themselves already, like Wendy Shea, Efia, Medical, all of those guys. And it sends a signal that indeed there is this independent presidential candidate that the Ghanaian youth have so much hope in, that the Ghanaian youth has so much of trust and confidence in, to reviving the current economic crisis, to reviving and turning around the current unemployment situations that we have, to reviving the creative industry and the music industry for that matter. And so, I mean, it says it all. The pictures and the videos says it all for itself. And you should have been there, Rosalind. You
didn't invite me though.
No, so that's what I'm saying. We actually didn't send invites out to. We just put it out there, and I am
but you
happy.
You could have invited me. You didn't invite me.
The next one you'll be invited.
Thank you very much.
The next one you'll be invited. It will be happening soon.
Where in Kumasi, Ashanti region?
We know that once they have seen the light of day, once they have seen what happened on Saturday, they would definitely want to do same.
But you still haven't answered me. Are you going to the Ashanti region to do one?
We
there?
are always in the Ashanti region.
No, I mean to have one of these events there.
We would have something.
Okay.
But we in the Alan fraternity, we in the Afrafranto, we mostly would not want to put out our programs. We want to, always bring out surprises and make people think like, where have they been? That surprise element is always very good. If I put it out now, my brother is here. I didn't let you know my advert that.
It's how it is anyway. Benjamin Jawafia has also joined us, and he's representing the NPP. Hi, Benji.
The beautiful Rosalind.
Hi, how are you?
Do you know you have fans?
I do?
Oh yes.
Really? Tell me about
it. I think on Saturday I went to one of the places to eat, and I think the waitress that came in said, she's been the one that she's been watching me on Joy Prime.
Oh wow.
And that I should tell Rosalind, said no who So
I'm blushing.
So like I always say, you're a role model to many. There's a silent majority out there that
Thank
really
you
look
so
up
much.
to you and all that. Very good morning to you and your cherished viewers.
Thank you.
And to my brother Nanayao. I want to say good morning to Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. And Rosalind, I am excited that within these short few days, a lot of people are. There's a new name for President Akufo-Addo. Have you heard it?
No.
On social media, all over social media.
What's the name?
He said his name is Commissioner General.
Okay.
Because, they've seen a lot of works that the president has done, and there's been a lot of commissioning, these days. And I think it's a good name. We'll take it. Especially when the NDC seems to tout that the NPP haven't done anything over the past, few years. I'm excited that a lot of people all over social media, especially on TikTok, are demonstrating or showing people that there are a lot of works and projects that this current government has done. And even this morning in Tema, 1,072 homes are going to be commissioned this morning under the Affordable Housing Project led by Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah.
So are they available to be
Yes,
bought? Or
yes,
they've been
fully
sold?
furnished.
No, I just want to know, are they available to be bought or they've been sold?
So I
Because
honestly...
once Ghanaians actually hear about this, the first thing is that we want to get one. We don't want a situation whereby somebody, especially my viewers, that I love so much, will call and then they'll be told, oh, it's been bought. So go to the owner to go and get it from the owner.
So what I'll do in course of the program, I'll text Honorable Kojo Ponkroma to ask if it's already been sold or like, you know, still out
the
there.
Affordable housing?
Yeah, the affordable house.
So
how affordable are they?
They are very, very affordable.
Like how much? I mean, you could just give us a range.
I would want to get the right figures.
In Ghana
so in the
cities?
course of the program, I'll text Honorable Kojo Ponkroma to get me the figures.
Is in the pipeline.
So that, yes.
The prices are in the pipeline.
So I think the prices were out somewhere last year.
Yeah,
the only issue I had with the prices was the fact that it wasn't dollars.
That was what I was asking him. Is it Ghana cities now?
For me, because we are a country that we don't spend dollars and our city keeps depreciating, I would have wished that anything that the government will do will not be priced in dollars but in cedis. However, like I said, you know, I don't know as we cry onto the government if that will be done for the ordinary Ghanaian, because affordable means that a teacher should be able to afford it.
That's
you know, I should be able to afford it.
And
so if it's in dollars and our city keeps depreciating, how can I afford maybe a one-bedroom that's like probably like $20,000? That would be different.
Rosemary, that's right. I mean, when Honorable Kojo Ponkroma came in as the housing minister, I think the first thing that he advocated was that all these, units should be sold in cities. That's what he advocated. I quite remember when he met the communicators, he had mentioned that he wanted us to let the public know that all these units would be sold in cities. And Rosalind, you see, have you seen the flower pot interchange?
I've seen the flower pot. But, you know, let me talk about the railway, the 97-kilometer Tema-Mpakadan railway that has been officially inaugurated. You know, Ghanaians have been calling on this for a while now, and finally it's been done. And so Ghanaians are excited about it. But just like you know, as Ghanaians, there are mixed feelings. Some are happy, some are not too happy about it, and some wish that, you know, it had been done a bit earlier. And so let me start this with you, Nanayao. This Tema-Mpakadan railway.
Yes, Rosalind. When I saw the news, I was very much excited about it, especially when we in the Afra Frantor, led by Honorable Alan Shamanton, have always been promoting the fact that there is a need for Ghana to move full scale on industrialization. And if you go into the industrial world, you will notice that railway transport, it's very key in industrialization, and it's a good project. My concern with these kinds of development has to do with maintenance of these projects. Are we able to maintain it? What is the framework? Are we able to interrogate to see how far we are going? What is the next phase? All right. So we need to be able to get all of these policy frameworks and then interrogate it and have a better understanding the next phase and the next move you're going. It shouldn't just limit us to the human transport, but also the cargo aspect of it once we are moving. One issue that has halted this Greater Kumasi project has to do with the railway. All right, and I think that if we are able to develop the railway industry proper, and I have so much confidence in Peter Amewu. You know, he's an excellent minister. He performed quite well when he was at Lands. He did good when he was at Energy, and so I wasn't surprised he was able to complete this railway project. But maintenance of it and the framework moving forward into the phase 2, and what is the plan in extending into other places. That is what we should be looking at. But just a quick one in regards to the affordable housing. Listen, we have to be realistic with Ghanaians. All right, when we have come and we say that we are pricing it in Ghana cedis, are we giving it a ceiling? Because it is not, I don't think it was funded by government, first of all. It is not government money. These are projects that have been done by individual real estate developers. Now, if they are pricing in cities, it means they are going to quote equivalent dollars in equivalent to Ghana cedis. And I was trying to get you one of the receipts that we got. Somebody sent to me, I think a year or two ago, that had to do with the TDC Development Company Limited when they had finished some of the affordable houses around the Tama Enclave, you know, and the person was actually surprised why it should be priced in dollars. And when they had given him the price equivalent in Ghana cedis, after a month when he had gone back, the prices had changed in Ghana cedis. Why? Because the dollar had changed. So we need to put things in perspective and be clear with Ghanaians. There is so much deficit in housing in Ghana. There's so much deficit that the ordinary Ghanaian is not able to afford. We need to look at our rent issues. We need to look at our housing issues. How best can government partner with the private sector to make it indeed affordable? Not paper talk affordability. Reality of it being affordable. And that was what I just wanted to add up to.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So for you, the railway, the commission of the railway is good news, right?
No, it's absolute good news. Anybody who believes in industrialization, and that was why I started on that premise, that we believe in industrialization. We are saying that Ghana ought to move into enterprise industrialization. And once you're moving into enterprise and industrialization, it means that you need to have a critical look at your transport system because you need to be able to move human faster. You need to be able to move your products faster. You need to be able to move everything and the traffic on our roads are not helping. And we've not gotten to that point where we would even be able to do the intercity air cargo. And so it means that the one that is available now for us to be able to explore is the rail system. Okay, so aside just this, we need to be able to look at the phase of expansion. And when I was listening to the speeches that were being read during the commissioning, I really didn't get that import. I didn't get that sense of expansion. I didn't get that sense of moving this into other phases. All right. I think that the concentration was just on the party that was happening, you know, the excitement of what had just happened. And we should
But
move
he
beyond
spoke
that.
about the economic and social benefits of the project.
Talking about its benefit is there. That is what we have dealt with. But the phase of expansion, the phase of moving it into other jurisdictions, are we just looking at this enclave? All right. Yes. How are we planning, all right, in involving or bringing on board external investors or private sector investors to also partner government in pushing this forward? Okay. All right. Once you're commissioning something like this, you should give Ghanaians the sense, all right, of your plan. Okay. Of moving forward.
For you, that you would have wanted.
I would have loved to hear that.
Okay.
I would have loved to hear that because, you know,
maybe he didn't say because he's definitely going out of office in the next 13 days. So whoever
going out of office does not mean the collapse of the railway system.
No, it's not going to be collapsed, but whoever takes over should be able to tell us the maintenance.
So that is a problem we have as Ghanaians. Okay. That is not as Ghanaians, but as Ghana. And that is why Alan proposed that there is a need for a plan which would be adapted so that if you are moving out of government, there is nothing like I am moving out of government, so government or governance should hold or stand still. No, we should be able to know what is happening in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years in the rail sector. All right? How are we syncing it with the industrialization agenda? How are we syncing it in the Enterprise Ghana agenda? Okay. These are all things that should be. That was a very good opportunity for us to discuss. Okay. rather than the
good side, just the good side.
Just the not the good side, but the party side of it.
You see it as
the
such.
fanfare of
Okay.
it. I mean,
right.
and when he was talking about the president being named Commissioner General, I laughed. Why? Because, I mean, Atamils was said that he would move with a cutlass and then pickers in his car. It was said same to the former president Mahama. I think that once you begin to do commissioning, you have been in office for 4 years. Commissionings didn't go on. Now, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to elections, you are moving from one place to the other. Some are completed, some are uncompleted projects. All right? There are some of the, I mean, if you looked at the flower pot flyover, let's be honest, it's an uncompleted project.
Also,
They will tell you that is phase one. The Bank of Ghana building, they will tell you it's an uncompleted project.
Yes.
They will tell you that is phase one.
yes.
Anyway.
You understand me? So if he has become the Commissioner General, I am not surprised. But Rosalind, just to wrap up, when we as Ghanaians are discussing some of these things, we should discuss it as patriotic citizens. Personally, I am of the school of thought that politicians take citizens for granted. Moving from one place to the other, commissioning projects that are uncompleted and telling us they are phase ones and phase twos.
I believe strongly that whichever they have commissioned that hasn't been completed will be completed.
And that is why I put you on the spot. I asked. You have been using the flower pot flyover.
So which one? What's left? What's left?
What do you think is left?
Anyway, Benji, come in, please.
You see, Rosalind, I am, like I said earlier on, good morning to Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who at the end of the day, on December 7, is going to emerge victorious, looking at the work he has put in, looking at his energy since he started campaigning. Rosalind, there's never been a day that this man has gone home to rest. Unlike the other side, we are not seeing from them that much. And
yesterday there was a video trending from the NDC side. I was shocked. The numbers, I think it was Ablekuma something. Hey!
Well, you see, some part of those places are their strongholds. So,
hey, but where did they get all those people from?
It's very, very important.
I am
It's very important that
I was wondering what the NPP was thinking about at that time.
You should also see our numbers. They've done yes. I think on Sunday.
To see yours.
Yes, on Sunday, Ablekuma Central would also do this. Look, but I want to say that for a very long time now, Rosalind, we have not seen our railway sector being active like we are seeing under this government. And that was a worry. My grandpa told me, in the early days of Kwame Nkrumah, they used to take train to work, back and forth. Although he was staying in a remote area, he was able to commute through the railway system. So if you have a government that is able to do this, one, railways are cost efficient, they are faster, and at the end of the day, it links remote areas to the cities. Looking at the game plan, President Akufo-Addo seeks to suggest that at the end of the day, we would have a railway system that can even link other countries, like our neighboring country, like Burkina Faso. So, Rosalind, we should all be excited about it. For a very long time, Ghana has not seen the railway sector being revamped, and this government has done it. Look, I want to say that this is not the end of story, and it's not a 419 gimmick to get vote or whatsoever. When Joe Gatti was given the mandate, he pledged that he was going to make sure that our railway system was going to work. Look, the one from Tema to Mpakadan railway is on the other side. We have another one upcoming. I don't know when it's going to be commissioned. In Kojokrom to Manso, I think it's almost 93% completed. and they are looking forward to it. I think in this November, that's the projected time.
This Tema-Pakadan railway that has been commissioned, has it been, you know, have they started using it?
Well, so I think that the plan is that they start somewhere next week, where people are able to purchase, you know, tickets.
From next week?
Yes, from next week. People are able to, you know, purchase tickets to their various destinations. There's another one from Takoradi Port to Manso to Huni Valley. That's 78 kilometers, almost about 16% completed. And, you know, feasibility studies is also ongoing on the Eastern Railway line, standard gauge, they call it. So all of these things, if you look at the roadmap, is to link our cities. Make sure that the cost of transportation is also down. Because you and I know when we travel, if you go to London, the railway system is a better source of, you know, commuting than even, you know, the bus or any other means. In New York, it's the same thing. So I think at the end of the day, the president has done a very good job. We must commend him. This is only a 2-unit diesel multiple unit that came with the state-of-the-art modern, you know, technology. It is not the old ones where you see this chimney and the smoke coming out and all that.
Do you have a fair idea how much it will cost for one to use it to commute? Because I remember, I think somewhere, I know times have changed, but I'm just comparing, somewhere in probably 2011 to 2010, 2011, thereabout. It was 1 city for those who were commuting from Tema to Accra.
Right.
So I'm just wondering, do you have a fair idea?
I honestly do not know, but what I do know is that it's going to be cheaper. Very, very cheap, like you are saying.
Like 1 city?
Well,
it won't be like 1 city.
Probably maybe 2 cities or more.
Okay.
No, I mean, it's going to be better than our standard rate of, you know, the busing system that we have or the taxi or the Uber that we have. But Rosalind, the most important thing that we need to also know is that this whole thing is on the ECOWAS agenda. That at the end of the day, interbilateral trades between 2 countries like Togo, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, all of these railway lines will link up together so that we have, you know, goods and services at ease. And that's something that we all need to applaud. When it comes to transportation system in this government, we've seen other sectors of the transportation system. In aviation, we have the Tamale Airport. We've seen the Kumasi Prempeh Airport, and in Takoradi, even in Ho and Sunyani, all of these things. Government is making sure that at the end of the day, citizens are able to move faster.
Okay.
And
so for me, again, this we are very happy about it. I don't know why I'm so excited about it, although I never used the other one, but I knew somebody who was using it every morning to work because the person was always rushing into work saying that, listen, it's 1 Ghana city, I can't afford to miss it. And then back home again from Accra to Tema, 1 Ghana city. So again, I want to know, what is the maintenance agreement that we have on this? Because it's so helpful to people that people don't want to start using it. And then in the next 1 year, we hear there's a fault, the train is not working again, and we are going back to square one.
Rosalind, that's a very important question. I think Ghanaians, we have a very horrible maintenance culture. It's one of the things that we need to critically look at. I am thinking that the Railway Ministry or the agency under this beautiful, you know, railway transport would be able to have a maintenance culture where not only 2 or 3 weeks down the line or months we see that the rail,
it's beautiful. I love it. I don't know. I'm more happy than probably the people that will use it. I'm very, very happy about it. But I have a problem.
Yes, that's true.
I look at STC. Where's STC today?
STC is there. Nana Komia is doing a very fantastic job there.
I'm sorry. He's not.
It used to be very bad.
It used to be better. Well, I remember the days when we sit in STC and they were serving us.
That was around 2000.
I'm not talking about 2000. I'm even talking about even when you took over in 2016, 2017, 2018.
Right.
SCC was better.
But that's what I'm saying.
Let's not pretend SCC has gone bad. It was better in 2016. It was better in 2017. It was better in 2018. SCC is bad
When
now.
was the last time you took one?
Just yesterday, a friend of mine was traveling with STC, and she even posted on Facebook. Got to the place, the bus was supposed to have left at 1:30. As at 1:45, there was no bus there.
Wow. Well, that's a challenge, and some of these things would have to be communicated to
He knows.
the CEO.
He's working. He's the CEO. He takes salary for it.
Yes. So, I mean, once in a while, some of these things will come up, Rosie. But I must commend Honorable Akomia for the good job done. Like you are saying, there are challenges. We must address them. And that's something that, so when some of these things come up, we send it across to him so that he takes. I mean, it will be very, very unfortunate that you are ready to move elsewhere, and then you have a stipulated time to get there, and the bus is not moving at the right time.
It's not moving. The bus is not even there.
I mean, that's...
as of 1:45, there's no bus.
It's very, very...
And this is yesterday.
Yeah.
It's sad. Look.
I mean, I'm sorry, but fact is fact.
Right.
Nana Akupia is not doing a wonderful job. If it's not working well, we call on the heads. He's not doing a wonderful job.
Well, from the little that I have known, I think that there were serious challenges, and
that's why he's been put there, fix it.
Systematically he's been, he's trying as much as possible to address them. Rosalind, I would want to learn, but on your question of the maintenance culture, I think it's very, very important. As a people, we need to take good care of some of these things. There needs to be a lot of public awareness. This is the first of its kind. All the railway transport that we used to have were the olden days one. This is an electric one, very, very efficient, very fast, going to be very cheaper for commuters. And looking at other side of it, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has brought over 140 buses, electric buses, that is going to be distributed across the country. What an electric bus does is that it is not going to use fuel. It is electrically charged.
Okay, that's good.
And that is something that is going to be very cheaper.
That's good.
A lot of people are going to enjoy this. And in the next phase of our government, most of the vehicles are going to be electric, moving away from the fuel side of everything, the petrol and diesel whatsoever, so that we can have a very cheaper and efficient transport system here in Ghana.
All right, Benji, that's a good one. I like it. Please, Ghanaians, don't go and spoil it.
Thank you.
Okay? When you use it, don't litter inside. Sometimes we litter. We sit on the handle of the chair.
Especially
and then
the bathrooms.
Please.
This one has a bathroom.
Take good care of it. Just like it's your home. Take very good care. I'm begging. Thank you. Please.
Just where you landed, the enforcement of discipline is something that the Great Transformational Plan has as part of its mindset change cluster. We ought to be able to enforce a certain level of discipline, and it can't just start from anywhere. We need to start from somewhere. We need to start it from our schools. We need to put that in our curriculum and make people understand, our children understand, even as we grow, understand that patriotism is key in every national development. Those of you who've had the opportunity to travel out of the country, when you have used the railways and the buses, you notice that there are signages in there telling you, in fact, in some jurisdictions, in some countries, you would not be allowed or you will not be seen chewing gum on board.
Yeah.
No, they will deboard you. And so you will notice that the inside of the train, the rails and the train and the buses are also so very clean. But Rosalind, infrastructure, transport infrastructure is very key. And for every nation that is poised on pushing an industrial agenda, need to take the transport infrastructure very seriously. And Alan proposed that there is a need to have, or government to provide, both fiscal and non-fiscal incentives to the private sector to attract them to invest so much in this transport infrastructure systems that are available. You're talking about the STC. I do not think that you would say same about the VIP. You understand? If there is that management mindset, when there is that investment that you put in there and your eye is on it to make returns, I think that you put in strategic plans to be able to make it work. And that is something that we ought to do. No, we need to create that enabling environment. We need to create that
I think our problem here is that we don't name and shame. And I think that that's a problem we have. When we belong to a certain political party or we are party faithfuls, we struggle to call out when somebody is going wrong. For me in particular, I think the leadership of STC have failed.
I happened to, when I was academically, when I was doing one of my programs, one of the areas I looked at was the sustainability of government enterprises as to private-owned enterprises. I think that there's a similar thesis or write-up by Dr. Awal, the former, I don't know where he is now, I think he's tourism minister or something.
Mohammed Awal.
Yes, okay. His PhD also has a similar thing. The point is this. In my earlier submission, I asked about the maintenance framework. It should be part of the plan. And that was what I was talking about. These are some of the things that I wanted to hear. The maintenance framework. How are we going to maintain this? Now, are we establishing road touring regimes? How are those regimes going to feed into the maintenance of the infrastructure? All right, and that is what the GTP is proposing. It says that establish a road touring regime that will provide a fair and competitive return for investment in the construction and maintenance of these infrastructures. We need to be able to have that regime. We should understand. When you are paying for something and you see that it is being used for that which has been tabled or listed to be used for, you do not have any complaints to make. It does not hurt when you are paying. But when you do not have a sense of what that money is being used for, and that is where you would have a problem. So when we have that regime set up and make Ghanaians understand that for the purposes of the maintenance and the sustainability of the services to be provided, then we will do. One other thing Alan had stated in the Great Transformational Plan is to liaise with the Bank of Ghana to issue infrastructural bonds, which would be attractive, would have attractive yields and to support financing of strategic transport infrastructure projects with high income generating potentials. Railway is a very high income generating potential. Can you imagine having a railway from Tema all the way to Paga, or all the way to, these tourist attractive areas? Having a railway that is moving from Tamale or Bolga to Cape Coast. And you could just go to Kakum National Park and come back within 24 hours.
That'll be a great one.
You understand? So these are avenues that even the banks can make money.
Yeah.
All right. So if we have Bank of Ghana issuing infrastructural bonds, these monies could be channeled or would be channeled into expanding these areas. And that is an area we should be looking at. And that is why we're saying that you need a leader that thinks ahead of time.
Okay. You see, another issue that we have as Ghanaians is that we are so quick to say, oh, this person started this project and you have come to do it and you are taking glory for it. This is why some people come and they don't complete projects. That's why we don't have, a government coming in and continuing the other projects that the other government has started. This is a good one.
It's a good point you have raised.
Yes.
And I just want to correct.
Because somebody even sent a message saying that, oh, Mahama went to secure the loan. And so what?
Now, I just even want to add up. When he was talking about it, he made a statement that this is the government that has seen so much. In 2008, during President Kufuor's State of the Nation address, 90 million euro bonds. He spoke about it, that the proceeds was going to be used to invest, some of them to be used to invest into the rail sector. All right. So if there is a continuity of projects, we will not be where we are today. But true. That winner takes all syndrome, which Alan has promised to break, is what we need to do away with.
All right.
So that you wouldn't come to sit and electric buses won't say,
no, but it's not even the
it happens.
No, but
the NDC does it, the NPP does it, and it's so wrong.
It's not even the party members that do it. It's we, the ordinary Ghanaians, that we are too quick to say, oh, you have this person started, you have come to complete, you want to take the glory. Can we stop it and understand that this is, our money, taxpayers' money, because whether it's loan or whatever it is, we will pay eventually.
Rosemary,
so
do you
can
understand
we stop
this
it?
one that says kukru kukru ne jaya, kekre kekre ne bejaya?
Anyway, Benji, let me bring Benji in.
Well, you see, Daniel, I would have expected that you would tell us what Chief Alan is trying to do in the railway sector.
But that was Adam, were you not listening?
I
was talking about infrastructure bonds to be pushed by the Bank of Ghana. I was talking about creating the enabling environment by providing fiscal and non-fiscal benefits to attract.
In the railway industry?
Railway is part of infrastructure.
So
the road is part of infrastructure.
Let him make his point, please.
And I told you that.
Specifically, what we are discussing is the railway system. And if you do not have any plan, I am shocked that you are saying, that's a general view of it.
It's not a general view.
Do you have a solid plan?
Railway is part of transport.
Exactly.
And I said that.
Yes.
Alan has proposed that that Bank of Ghana, he would liaise with the Bank of Ghana to issue infrastructural bonds. These infrastructural bonds will be used to invest in the transport sector. Railway is part of transport. And even before that, I told you that anybody who believes in industrialization would have to have a plan towards bringing up
all
railway
the things that you are trying to say are things
Alan
that are in progress.
Alan talked about Greater Kumasi. All right, we brought in the World Bank to give us some monies to push into Greater Kumasi, which is happening in the Ashanti region, and other industrial parks. Now, you cannot have these industrial parks built, all right, and you have a slow transport system.
That's what the NPP has started.
They have so I am saying
that's exactly what you're saying.
I didn't say it's a bad thing.
See,
I said it was a good thing, and I even praised the minister who is in charge now.
Right.
It means he wasn't listening.
No,
okay.
You see,
otherwise he chose to listen what he wants to listen.
Please let him make his voice.
I am saying that, Nana, it's very important that when some of these strides are made, we celebrate it.
In fact, this is a good one.
But I celebrated it.
He did. Nana celebrated.
In other aspects, I sat here and listened to you when you said that the flyover. No, it's not even a flyover. There's a difference between a flyover and interchange. What we have at Spintex is an interchange. Flyovers are less costly than an interchange. In the original plan, when the former president wanted to do was a flyover, we did additions, we did review and did other, modernization and added some aspect of it. For instance, there was no Shiashi revamp, but in this current one, we did it. What I'm trying to say is that the project is completed under the Ministry of Roads and Highways.
Okay.
I am only shocked that Nana is saying that it's not completed. We must understand that there has been a significant amount of success from this government when it comes to interchanges. If you put all those things together with the Circle Dubai, the cost, and then you have Obechebi Lamte that is going to be commissioned this week, with the one in Takrade and one at
I think what Nanaya is saying, and I think that's what most Ghanaians are saying, those who have used the road.
Right.
The road is, and from what Benji is saying, which I agree with Benji 100%,
right,
it's complete because we can use it.
Exactly.
Once we can use it, it's completed. But I think the only issue here is that the painting is not fully done.
Okay.
And then the wires, some are also...
knows that it will be done.
And some of the wires are also still hanging out instead of it being put in the right place. So I think that's
all the successes that Yaw flag bearer has chopped. We must admit that it was somebody that gave him the chance. It was President Akufo-Addo that gave your flag bearer a chance to do all the things that you are talking about today. And in fact, greater of them have been started by this government. We must admit that Chief Alan is a good statesman, he's a good politician, but we must also admit that he himself was given the mandate by this current government to do some of these things. Rosalind, I would want to end that, I didn't even add that there is a brownfield main line from Accra, Tema to Kumasi, which is 294 kilometers. Another one, brownfield branch line, Bososo to Chebi, 25 kilometers. And Greenfield branch line, Ejisu to Ediodin, 30 kilometers. All of these things government is trying to do to ease up, the traffic and the transportation cost in our country. We must admit that at a point, we also wanted to do the Sky, railway system, which Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is eager on doing it, because in our neighboring country, Côte d'Ivoire has already started it. We are in talks with the contractors to construct modern, Sky, how do they call it? Railway.
The SkyTrain.
Yeah, SkyTrain. Thank you very much. SkyTrain system. That is all going to ease up our traffic in Accra. And look, we are approaching December. Rosalind, in December, I am happy if I could use the railway line at Achimota, which goes straight to Tema, which passes through Alajo, straight to Tema. And I wouldn't worry myself going through the normal traffic, which might probably take me about 2 or 3 hours to get to Tema, especially on the motorway. So I don't know when that is going to start. But if it does, in this December, we have a lot of people coming in, GH December, whatever, the December they call it. The railway system is going to play a very crucial role, and we must admit that government has done well.
Government has done well.
I would emphasize that with this awareness that you have started, let us do it every morning. Anytime we commission anything that is very new, Ghanaians love to use it. But then at the end of the day,
we destroy it.
Yes, 2 or 3 months down the line, we destroy it. Let's continue with this advocacy, where we tell the citizens that it's very important that we keep good use of this, because at the end of the day, Rosalind, it's our own taxes. It's our own taxes that was used to do this.
That's the same
so if you do not care about it, you go in there and then
I used the said it's an interchange, the flower pot interchange, this weekend.
Right.
And a few questions I want to ask. Who is in charge of cleaning, sweeping that place? You might not have answers to it, but the place has started getting dirty.
Already?
Yes. So the authorities, if you are listening and you're watching this morning, that road has started getting dirty. There's so much sand on the road now. Can it be cleaned? And of course, Ghanaians trust the NPP government to deliver. Can we complete the painting of the place? Because we painted the outer, but the inner still hasn't been painted, and people are scared that it will be left like that. So kindly complete the painting, and then kindly the wires that are hanging out, kindly put it in the right places so that nobody will have anything to say about it. But I'm more concerned about the sweeping of that place. Please allocate people to sweep.
I'll definitely send that one. And Rosie, remember on Friday, just as it was commissioned, some people had already, trooped in there.
Can you imagine? I was so angry.
To sell that. And I think on social media, some people were not happy with the original
This beautiful place.
Not happy with the original.
It's something that we all need to understand, that sometimes we need to enforce the laws.
Yeah.
How can you go there just a day?
I was asking where tankers is. You remember tankers?
Yes, exactly. Those days. They'll drive you away.
They'll drive you out. They'll cane you.
Oh. So, you see, we
that
have
was
to...
what I was talking about,
we have
the
to make sure.
mindset change. We need to have a deliberate effort to pushing down the mindset change into the minds of Ghanaians. And, you know, there is a cluster in the Great Transformational Plan that talks about the mindset change. Now, are we able to make the people who go there to sell understand why they cannot sell there? Even the risk involved in sitting under that place to sell. But you see, we have the corrective maintenance, we have the preventive, we have the risk base, all right? And then we also have the predictive. That was why I'm talking about the framework, so that it would have all of these proposals, and we would have some of these elements well explained in there, and we would be able to tell who should be held responsible for what. You understand? So,
but there are people who are responsible. I believe so. I don't think these things will be put there without people being responsible.
When there is ambiguity in roles and responsibilities and obligations, you are not able to tell who is responsible. Now, when you have so many agencies and so many organizations playing one role, okay?
So we don't know who is in charge of. We don't know who is in charge of completing the painting of the place. Who is in charge of making sure the wires are in the right place. We don't know who is in charge of making sure that the place is
Are we able
swept?
to synchronize some of these state agencies so that we know that this person, this institution, this is what they are responsible
All right,
for?
Nana Yaw. Okay, so we move on to our next topic, where the majority caucus in Parliament, that's the NPP, has triggered a recall of Parliament, and I just want to read a little bit of what the letter they wrote to the Speaker says. They said that there are some government businesses that have to go through requests for tax exemptions for designated beneficiaries under the One District, One Factory program, Ghana Financial Stability Fund, and International Development Association facility of $250 million United States dollars that are awaiting consideration of the President's nominations for appointment as justices of the Supreme Court, ratification of the mining lease agreement between the government of the Republic of Ghana, represented by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, and the Ashanti Bauxite Company Limited for the mining of bauxite in the Nyinahini Block 2 area in the Etrima Imponua district of the Ashanti region. 5, ratification of the mining lease agreement between the government of the Republic of Ghana, represented again by Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, and Barari DV Ghana Limited for the exploitation of lithium at Ewoyam in the central region. And number 6, that's the bills. There are so many bills. There's the Environmental Protection Agency Bill 2024, Social Protection Bill 2023, Customs Amendment Bill 2024, Budget Bill 2023, Ghana Boundary Commission Bill 2023, Interstate Succession Bill 2024, University of Mampong Bill 2024, Free SHS Bill 2024, Pre-Tertiary Amendment Bill, College of Allied Science and Technology Bill 2024, Ghana Book Development Council Bill 2024, University for Development Studies Bill 2024, Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply Bill 2024, and University of Health, Agriculture and Life Science Kintampo Bill 2024, JB Dankwa University of Engineering and Agricultural Sciences Bunsu Bill 2024, University of Sports for Development Bill 2024, and University of Engineering and Applied Sciences and Cordier Bill 2024. Now, these are the businesses that have to go through. And so the majority caucus in Parliament is triggering a reset, and they've written to the Speaker of Parliament. Want to know if the Speaker will definitely adhere to this, or you're going to hear something else. If the Speaker doesn't, what will be the consequences of it? Now, the NDC is also threatening a boycott of Parliament. And the last sitting, from what we gathered from the Speaker, saying that because they didn't have the numbers to make a decision, he had to call on the Parliament to go on recess. If the NDC decides to boycott, it means that they might have to go on recess again because they might not have the numbers to make a decision. Nanayo?
I was just trying to get the standing orders of Parliament to read out the procedures that some of these bills would have to go through. And as I said, sometimes some people think that they are the only people who are able to read, write, and understand. And they think that the rest of Ghana does not know what is in the black and white. Rosalind, let's be Ghanaians this morning. Do you think that all of these business items that has been listed by who signed the petition?
It's Honorable Apenyomaking, or you want to know all those who signed?
No, yes. Sometimes he might not be the one that signed.
No, so it's coming from, this one says to Right Honorable Speaker, from Majority Leader and Leader of Government Businesses, Honorable Alexander Afenyomaking.
So does he think that all of this that he has listed can be done within a matter of 5-10 days?
Well, he says 2 days.
2 days for
He
who?
proposed for 2 days, 28th, 29th.
Rosalind, some of them would have to be laid after the first reading for a number of days. I think 20 days. I wanted to be, because I was trying to get it, and I'll get it for you. Some would have to be laid for 20 days or so. Some would have to be laid before. Some would have to be debated on and all that. Some would have to go back to select committees. Is he aware that his colleague, he himself, would have to go back to his constituency to go and campaign and to push for the December 7th elections? Why are we not being honest with ourselves?
He said in the statement, he did say that he wishes that it will happen 28, 29, so that they can go back by Monday to campaign.
By Monday to campaign. This is unrealistic. Was he not the same person that petitioned the Speaker to recall Parliament? Did he even have the respect for Ghanaians to go in to the chamber? No. Ghana wasted money when the Speaker recalled Parliament, and he, Afenyo, refused to allow his colleagues to go into the chamber. Whether or not they were going to sit as minority or majority was not the issue. You had made Speaker recall Parliament. He did. All Ghanaians needed you to do was to go in there and make a case. And even use that same procedure to draw the Speaker's attention that there had been a Supreme Court issue. And so the Speaker should reconsider a decision probably he had taken. Ghanaians would have taken him much more serious, but not this time.
Not this time? What's wrong with this time? He's pushing, or he's advocating that businesses will go through.
You did one, you did the second one, you walked out, and this is politics we are doing.
Well, he didn't trigger the first one. He triggered just the last one.
Which one?
The first sitting was not him triggering.
The first
It's
one
the last
after
one
the
that he
Speaker
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
made
The last one is the one that he triggered.
the decision.
So
They
this will be
walked
his
out.
second trigger.
They walked out. They could have stayed in there to argue themselves out. He walked out. He did. That is what we're talking about, the arrogance of power. So you think that the NDC would come? Do you think that the NDC would come?
Well, they claim they won't. No, I don't know if they will, but they claim they won't. But I don't know if
you have
they will.
disrespected them and disrespected Ghanaians, they will do the same to you.
You see, that acts as disrespect. Well, it was just for them to be
when he
named as
triggered
majority
the
in Parliament.
recalling of Parliament, and it was honored by the Speaker, did he show up? He told Ghanaians that they were in a caucus meeting. Really? And if you're in a caucus meeting, you did not take steps to alert the Speaker that you are in caucus meeting?
All right, Nana.
Parliament works with documents. The order paper that contains the business of the day. Now we are told, we are not in Parliament, we are told that there was supposed to be a meeting of leadership where he, as leader of government business, would have a discussion, a roundtable discussion with the Speaker and the other side to agree on which of the issues that they would have to deal with. Now he tells Ghanaians that the petition that he wrote, in it he had listed the businesses that should have taken place in Parliament that day. Is that how Parliament runs?
All right, so let me
Let's be real with ourselves.
Let me move to Benji. Benji.
Rosalie, I would want to, concluding remarks from me, I would want to take it from the...
It's not concluding remarks, so
okay.
we are not done.
So on
Because
this
I'll be taking some
sure.
comments.
On this
very
same
soon.
one, I want to read the 1992 Constitution, which is the highest law of our country, which governs all of us. And I will read from Article 1, Clause 2. It says, this Constitution shall be the supreme law of Ghana, and any other law found to be inconsistent with any provision of this Constitution shall, to the extent of the inconsistency, be void. Comes to Article 2, enforcement of the Constitution. Clause 2.4, it says, failure to obey or carry out the terms of an order or direction made or given under Clause 2 of this article constitute a higher crime under this Constitution and shall, in the case of the President or the Vice, constitute a ground for removal from the office under this Constitution. I think Speaker Bagbin needs to read this last part that I've just read out. That with all his, glory and the power that he has, he wouldn't be found contemptuous before the Supreme Court.
He can decide. He might recall that if he does and the NDC decides to boycott, he hasn't done anything wrong.
Well, so that's okay. And I wouldn't be shocked if NDC would boycott it because the leadership, the leadership of the party do not want the free SHS bill to be passed. And that is why they are all running away from it. That's the fact. They do not want the free SHS bill to be passed because what this government is trying to do is to make sure that whether there is the NPP government who brought the free SHS or there is an NDC government who opposed the free SHS, whoever comes, there's this law that seeks to let any government that at the end of the day, the free SHS is here to stay. Nobody can do a review or cancellation whatsoever.
But at this point, the question here is that 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, you had the opportunity as majority in Parliament, because as of that time, there was a stay of what the Speaker had said. Now, you boycotted Parliament. You boycotted Parliament twice. So if free SHS was really on your heart, you wouldn't have boycotted Parliament. You would have gone into Parliament and fought for free SHS.
You see, with the sitting arrangement.
Yeah.
Do you think they would have allowed us?
Is it sitting arrangement with free SHS? What is more important to you?
But they understand in all this that the majority side of Parliament would have to sit at the right side of the Speaker.
Nobody disputes that.
So if I'm not sitting at the right side of the Speaker, how would I have the chance to engage and continue with government business?
But that does affect you putting up the business of the day.
Look, that's what I'm saying.
It doesn't.
The other side is also claiming that they are majority. How then do we move government business? How can you do it?
Does majority determine who
I'll read a few messages. This one says,
in the constitution of the quorum,
I've done this
at the end
already.
of the day, if you do not have the majority in line, you cannot whip anybody to do government businesses. And that's why we have
that.
No.
Please, there is a procedure.
So that's what I'm saying.
All right, gentlemen, let me read a few messages.
Okay, let's bring it in the layman's language. That is the agenda for the day. If you're going for a meeting, all right, you agree on an agenda.
Right.
All right, the business of the day, the government business. So if you're going into parliament, you do not need to be a majority leader or a minority leader to push the government business onto the table.
How can you even
understand?
If you are not on the majority side of it?
Who appoints the leader of government business? It is a government in power.
So
it is not the majority leader or the minority leader.
If you are saying if you are minority, we can do it.
You can be a minority leader with your government in power and still lead government business.
Please.
Okay, so for...
How do you have the numbers?
Wait,
how are you going to have the numbers?
How
are you going to have the numbers?
So anyway, let me read a few messages. Good morning, Rosalie. Supreme Court upholds Afenyo's actions by a majority decision. Speaker Gbagben has not filed any process in court in the matter of the vacant seats. His counsel initially pleaded with the court for an extension of time to file his response. The court granted that, but he failed to file. The court has then proceeded with the hearing of the matter and make their judgment, which is final. I'll urge the NDC to win majority at the police station rather than thinking they can force it on themselves in Parliament. Vote 1 for jobs. All right, thank you very much. Good morning to you. Peaceful elections are not only beneficial for maintaining social cohesion and stability, but also crucial for the overall development and progress of a country. Research has shown that countries that experience peaceful elections are more likely to enjoy sustained economic growth and social development. Therefore, the promotion of a peace during election period is not just a moral obligation, but also a practical necessity for the well-being of our society. Aaron Beba Kokomisa. Good morning, madam. Tell Benji to stop misleading himself. This morning, a sister station of yours showed a 1963 newspaper where free secondary school was birthed. Well, it was birthed, but not the whole of Ghana. It was birthed in certain parts of Ghana, especially in the northern part of Ghana. Okay, so it wasn't birthed in the whole of Ghana. It's not like the whole Ghana was enjoying it and then somebody came to cancel it and somebody has brought it back. No, it was just in one part of Ghana. NPP now believe that there's a provision in Parliament that the majority should sit at the right side of the Speaker, but didn't accept the communication of the Speaker, which he uses the parliamentary provisions. Good morning. Joy Prime, Mr. Afenyo should go back to the Supreme Court to injunct the Speaker and ask for a recall of Parliament to conduct affairs, since the unanimous FC has exclusive jurisdiction over everything under the sun. NPP must use the courts to change the standing orders in their favor. Does it make sense to recall the House while they absent themselves throughout the year to campaign with their flag bearer? Hi, Roslyn. Good morning. The president can commission heaven and earth. He will still lose. When you go to vote, remember John Mahama, Nie Lomote. Oh, hey, the Ghana people and trends. Amweni Fita, as Marcus says, humble person, Dr. Baumia is the only person who can lead this country, Ghana, because Dr. Baumia is better than Mahama when it comes to development. Regards to Frank. Okay. This one says, why commissioning many unfinished projects at the last hour just to fool Ghanaians to vote for you? You are playing with the minds of the underprivileged in the society. I'm not happy when you are playing mind games. This is Kululu, okay?
But Kululu should tell us which of them haven't been completed. Which of them?
Okay, so Kululu, you are watching, so Benji says, come and tell him which ones have been completed. Good morning, Roslyn. What is wrong if they should also mention that the previous government secured the loan and they have come to see it to implementation? Taking the glory alone is not fair. Are you taking the glory alone? You do agree that the previous government secured the loan, right, Benji?
Yeah, but it was only for a flyover. We did a lot of review and added a lot of stuff.
Even with the Teman Pakadan.
Well, I mean, obviously, I mean, government is a continual process, so obviously.
And that is what I'm saying, that, you see, when we are able to get to understand that government is a continuum, and it's not about I came to complete and this person came to complete us and this person secured the loan and this person didn't secure a loan. We'll move forward as a country. This is what we have to get to, because it keeps on coming back at us. Good morning, Rosalind. Our politicians deliberately start projects that will be halfway completed during their tenure, and they tell the people, vote for me in order to complete it. This strategy must stop. Shaibu from Nima. Good morning, Joy Prime. Please, I just want all of us to bear in mind that because we didn't know when we were born, so we wouldn't to when we want to know when we are going to die. We must also have this in mind that we are temporal, alone in the world. Okay, thank you very much, Adenta Stampy. What is wrong if the one who completed what someone started to call the one who started and commissioned it together? List President Atamil show the way with N1 with President Kufuor. We are too petty. Well, Good morning, Rosalind. To those who keep saying Nanado and Baumia has not done anything, I hope that they are revising their notes now. In all aspects of governance, Nanado and Baumia stands tall. Talk about roads infrastructure, health infrastructure, sports infrastructure, energy, education, and educational infrastructure, security equipment and accommodation for security personnel, etc. These and more are reasons why we should vote for Baumia to upgrade and take us to the next level. K. Fripon says so. Good morning. I am newly posted teachers, and newly posted teachers have worked for 4 months now without salary. Oh, wow. This is not good to hear. Rosalind, did Benjamin say Dr. Baumia has brought in 145 electric buses in his capacity as who? The president, the vice president, or the flag bearer? These guys still think Ghanaians are jokola, so anything for votes is welcomed. But tell him to tell Baumia that the SkyTrain lie is still fresh in our minds. Rami from Pram. Teacher Kujo from Enyinaso says that someone should tell me one policy that NDC has implemented that has benefited all Ghanaians. The NPP brought free maternity care for our mothers, unlike the cash and carry system that killed many pregnant women. They also introduced free SHS drones to deliver life-saving first aid, the DRIP initiative to improve our roads in every district, one ambulance, and a digital address system to stop us from using trees and buildings to give directions to our homes. The saddest thing about the NDC is that they are always saying it's impossible, and that's not the kind of party Ghana needs to move forward. Okay, so this one says, Madam, stop saying that, stop saying, no, I won't stop saying it, it is ours. It is ours. Who do you think owns that place? Government will come and go. You and I are here. If you like, don't take good care of it. Because the NPP won't stay in power forever. The NDC won't stay in power forever. There was a time when the CPP was in power. We sit here in Ghana as citizens and we tout the works of Dr. Osajifo Kwame Nkrumah. He was not an NPP member. He was not an NDC member. But we tout his works because we are beneficiaries of his work. So, DNA, take good care of it.
That's true.
All right, so I'll read this one as my last one. Akonsi Gariba from Tamale. Good morning, Rosalind. Ghana should take free SHS as a key decider for the 2024 election and many elections yet to come. Mr. John Mahama couldn't manage the Kwame Nkrumah partially free secondary school in the north, especially during his term of office. Northern schools used to delay in reopening of schools, whilst the southern schools will be in school for 3 to 4 weeks because President John Mahama couldn't pay for the feeding grants for his northern brothers to go back to school. I'm reminding Ghanaians not to take the free SHS for granted because President Mahama couldn't manage the Dr. Kwame Nkrumah partially free senior high school in the north, and insults are no substitute for good policies. Please vote wisely. All right, so this is all I will read for now. So I'll take my final submissions from my two gentlemen. Nana?
Yes.
I think that we need to always put out the right information. I was just going through the standing orders of Parliament, Ghana's Parliament again, trying to understand the structures. But you do not need to be a majority leader to handle government business. I still stand by it. Afenyo disrespected Ghanaians. He made us waste money. I don't know how much it cost Ghana per sitting. But if they have to call parliamentarians when they are not sittings or Speaker has adjourned senator, it means that you are moving them from their various constituencies back to Accra to Parliament House. The cost involved is higher than when there are parliamentary sittings and they are already in Accra. You understand? And he should know that once he did not appear, we Ghanaians will not be surprised if the NDC does same. I, seated here, will not be surprised if the NDC does same.
As in?
If they refuse to also come to Parliament. And you remember the last time when we were talking about the Supreme Court issues, I said that there is a need for them to lower their egos and to deal with the matter as Ghanaians, respectfully. Because the Chief Justice, after issuing the judgment or the ruling, even when the Speaker accepts it, agrees to work with it, the Chief Justice and the Speaker cannot tie the hands of the MPs to come and sit in Parliament to work. They rather would have opted for a round table Jojo, and then Ghana moves forward. I personally would want to plead, in as much as I will not be surprised if they don't come, that they appear and Ghana moves forward. But as for the items he has listed to be government business that they want to push within the 2 days, these are unrealistic. They should come again. I mean, I don't know how many items are there.
Yeah, lots, you know.
About 10 or so. And you need to read, you need to research, you need to understand these bills. And he wants them to use 2 days to just go and push. And yet, damn near to no Parliament House. You understand? And yet, damn near to no Parliament House. You want them to use 48 hours to work. So they would present to Ghanaians half-baked legislations.
So for you, how many days do they need for this?
I've never worked in Parliament.
Because some say 13 days, depending on how you count. Others say it's 12 days to
I have never worked in
vote.
Parliament, but to work on a bill, to understand a bill, and to research to know the effects of it and whether or not we need amendments and we need changes in it, it takes time.
Okay.
Because these MPs, and this is where I will side with my dad, Joe Wise, that this Parliament, these MPs that we have, he cannot testify that they were ready to actually come to Parliament. Because if the leader of government business can wake up and list all of these items to be pushed in less than 24 hours, and he expects thorough work to be done, it is just like giving your daughter or son 15 subjects.
Well, like you said, you haven't been in Parliament. No, so
and go and write exams
like you said,
in 2 days.
No, like you said, you haven't been in Parliament. You haven't worked there before. So maybe it can't be done for those who are in Parliament.
Please.
So let me say
the fact that I have not worked there and stated it for the record,
so maybe
does not mean we do not understand what goes
they
in
can.
there.
They know how to do it, so they can do it better. So they know that it can be done within 48 hours. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt.
But you have heard some of the parliamentarians, even within the NPP, saying that this cannot be done within 48 hours.
Okay, Benji.
Oh, see, every item on the table is very important. And as much as it's important, we have to also understand that in the first quarter of 2025, there are other bills that need to be paid. Government salaries and all that needs to come in. So if the NDC is threatening the boycott, whatever it is, they must understand that all of these items are very important and that the ordinary Ghanaian or the citizens needs some of these things in order for them
See the emotional and mind game.
to progress. At the end of the day, Rose, it's important that we put the country first, irrespective of our individual opinions and what's not. I am very, very keen on the fact that the speaker wouldn't be found in contempt. That his glory will be downsized and that he will face all these powerful Supreme Court judges.
For Ghanaians, even if he recalls Parliament.
And NDC, well, still, if
I think that what the NPP should go backdoor and have a conversation with the NDC.
Well, they can choose to come. They can choose to come. They can choose to sit at home.
Okay.
Whatever it is, we would still continue government
so
business.
we have to end that conversation. We have to end that conversation. Anyway.
It's very important that they themselves know that there has been a ruling. Speaker would have to reconvene. Bring back the House.
Let us put this in perspective.
Bring back the House in order. A full House as a matter of fact.
Okay.
That is what we are. Rosamond, I'm ending with
the ruling of the Supreme Court. No, hold on. We are informing Ghanaians. The ruling of the Supreme Court does not say the Speaker has to recall Parliament. No.
Okay, what does it say?
So if Afenyo has petitioned, then Afenyo wouldn't have petitioned.
Okay.
There's a petition.
Afenyo has petitioned the Speaker, there are procedures. If the Speaker says he's unavailable or has a reason not to recall, he will state it.
About it.
And he has a number of days to be able to respond to this. So let us not sit and act as though the Supreme Court or the Chief Justice can go and drag the Speaker from his house and say, Massa, come and recall.
Well, Ghanaians, to avoid all of these things, vote massively for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and vote massively for the members of Parliament. Where the elephant is, that's where the son or the daughter is. Please, let's make sure that we do not involve ourselves in skirt and blouse. Vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and vote for all the parliamentary candidates in order to avoid all of this. This parliament is one of the most disgraceful parliaments we've ever seen in the history of our country.
Right.
Let's vote massively for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and all the NPP parliamentary candidates.
Thank you. You want to thank Ghana Police?
I mean, that I think on Thursday
the
or so.
woman that got kidnapped?
Yes, aside that, I was on your sister station.
Okay.
In the morning, we had chanced on a video of one of the NPP boys seated on one of the stations and putting out a disinformation. And then we called on the Ghana Police Service to actually take him up. And we heard over the weekend that he was arrested. We don't know if he's still with them.
What part?
The young man over there, Ohiniba. But it's a
they invited him for questioning.
They shouldn't have. They should arrest him.
Yes.
Okay.
You see,
all right. Unfortunately, time I have
disinformation and just allow it to go like that.
Thank you very much,
it's
gentlemen, for being here. And Yaw Sarpong represented Movement for Change, and Benjamin Jewapia represented the NPP this morning. My name is Roslyn Felly. This is all time will permit us for this segment. Don't forget to go to Franco Trading Enterprise for all your gadgets, mobile phones, televisions, and CCTV cameras. We've got all of them for you. You can download the app on your phone, which is Franco Trading app, or visit our website for further inquiries at www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone Papa Pefi. Up next is What's Trending. It is day.